Productivity is hard, and you don't need influencers making it any harder for you. Maybe this is just my algorithm, but I feel like we as a collective conscious have realized that A, these systems don't always work for us the way we hope, and B, sometimes we kind of overdo it when it's time to get organized. Since it's the era of performance media, suddenly there are TikTokers and influencers out the wazoo who are appearing and they have big thoughts about how we're supposed to do this. And sometimes that's cool. Some of these are good. Some of them, though, seem a little more interested in selling you stuff or telling you that you're doing everything incorrectly. These are not hard to search for. I'm really tired of people on the internet contributing to the feeling that I don't have my life together. I mean, I don't, but like, shut up about it. If I had to guess, you're here because you struggle with organization or productivity. You've switched between a bunch of different systems. You've tried digital, you've tried physical, you've tried the Notions, the Obsidians, whatever you've tried, I'm guessing you tried it really hard. And if that didn't work, I may have good news for you. You have not sinned, my child. Nothing that you have done has aggrieved the tribe. Please, take it from me. I have tried every productivity system. This is my timeline of systems that I've used. This is the first time I've ever put them all in one place. It is going to make me look like a crazy person. 3000 BC to AD 2013, the distant past. Not much is known about my productivity systems. I make do with cave paintings and clay tablets. 2014, Google Drive. I use this, but it feels horrible. 2015, Evernote feels way better, so I switched to it and I start buying field notes. I bought this very limited edition paper calendar they made. I loved it so much, but then I fell in a lake and ruined it. 2016, I designed my own paper calendar. It's got an icon system that lets me mark event types. I get really into Habitica with coworkers. It's like an RPG-based to-do list system. It's gamified. 2017, I switched to the Bear app for its goated tagging system and I start using Apple Calendar. 2018, I center my life around daily use of a whiteboard. 2019, there's these larger paper notebooks from a Japanese home goods store that are really cool. I buy them, but I have to cut off a corner because they keep destroying my pockets. I also build my own gamified Google spreadsheet based on what I felt like was missing from Habitica. 2020, I try bullet journaling. That doesn't go anywhere. 2021, I switched to Notion for its nesting in databases and Google Calendar for sharing features. 2022, I turned my life into an elaborate mess of sticky notes disguised as a gridded organization system. I also take the to-do game RPG thing way too far and build my own system in Unreal that visualizes to-dos and turns them into a class-based RPG that lets you play with your friends. There's an entire story campaign. It's very fun, but it gives me mega burnout. Some of you guys were there when that happened. Some of you guys in the chat, you were playing that game with me. 2023, I try the Do app for unmissable notifications on my to-dos, but my iPhone thinks they're spam and rate limits them. I buy a Skylight calendar for GCal. This thing is awesome. Actually, I love my Skylight calendar. I actually have 2 of them. 2024, I buy a time timer for my desk. It's supposed to help me with time blocking, but it mostly doesn't. I seriously over-engineer my Notion. I get really into thought dumping. 2025, my Notion is now very slow. I switched to field notes again. This time, I build a custom wallet to hold 2 of them so that I always have them on hand. I also bought coloring charts from some influencer for videos that are taking too long. In 2026, I switch over all my to-dos and idea captures to this big-ass book that's full of empty paper, where I can write basically whatever I want. My producer, George, also assigns me stuff in a Google Sheet. I still use Google Calendar, and I still use Notion to write video scripts. This is over a decade of not finding the right solution. I don't even think I have the correct solutions right now, but it took me until this year to get over feeling like a failure about it. Do I feel ashamed of this? Not now. There's 2 things that all of these systems have in common. And the first thing is novelty. If you found this video, you have ADHD. By being here, you no longer have to wonder. YouTube has served you this video because you have ADHD. Congratulations and welcome to the club. If you have this debuff of the brain, if you have this attention flicking affliction, your mind has one single way to anchor itself, and that is by focusing on things that are new and interesting. It's extremely normal to get bored of an organization system, even one you like. They stop being new and shiny. No novelty often means no focus. But you do not need to feel bad about this. It's just a way of being. I want to take us out of the place of ADHD denigration to ADHD domination. I've spent a lot of my life trying to pin myself down and focus on boring things without realizing that I could just find ways to make that stuff more interesting. Planning your time can actually be a creative act. Designing your own system is a really cool thing you can do. You could also just accept the fact that you're going to get excited about certain things that are just newer to you. If a new notebook or planner would keep you focused for the next 6 months or even the next 2 weeks, go for it. Try the new system. You can just do it. It's morally neutral. It's completely fine. No one else's opinion counts about this. Just try not to overspend and keep all of your old systems in places you can find them again if needed. Bonus points if you can somehow index them or archive all of this somehow, but a lot of the apps specifically for like your digital solutions have search features that are actually pretty good, and you could just use those. If you're short of cash, see if there's a way to modify your current planner. Paint the front of it, print out some memes and put them randomly in there to encourage you to keep going forward and try to forget about the memes before you get there. The second thing that these two things have in common is intention. When I look back at all of my attempts to get organized, I see someone who is trying as hard as they can to grow as a person. Whenever I switched my systems, I had a new vision of a new me that could be better than my current results. That didn't always work out like I planned, but it did help me. Like, it helped me at least a little bit. I always got a little bit further, and it helped me stay motivated. Over my timeline of failed productivity systems, I've switched industries, I've built games, I built apps, I built a channel, I started a business, and I've worked on projects for huge brands. So this is normally the part of a video for like a conscious YouTuber who's gonna tell you that your worth isn't tied to productivity, that you're still worthy of love and belonging, even if you aren't like productive all the time. And they are correct. But I still have to go to work tomorrow, and the laundry is not gonna fold itself. I'm not even gonna fold it unless I make a list. And I'd like that list to be in a shiny new journal, preferably. Abandoning old systems doesn't have to be a waste if you keep evolving with each new effort. Even though I've worked through a bunch of systems, I've stolen bits and pieces from what worked and held on to some of them. For instance, I stole the idea of using dots instead of checkboxes from bullet journaling. Bullet journaling. I like the idea of being able to just like make the dot and then later you can cross it off or you can put an X through it and then you have that information. You don't have to waste a lot of time drawing boxes. It's a little thing, but it feels like a lot. I got a lot out of making games that could help me with accountability for my tasks, but making them actually really burned me out. So now an accountability partner and we just have like a system that we write down on paper. Each week we track down what kind of stuff that we're trying to get done, and then we keep track of the streak of how often we're able to be successful. And that's enough. I also know that a ton of stuff doesn't work for me, and I avoid that. I've shared a ton of ideas in this video that I've already tried that you can check out, but there's 3 new ones that I'd like to give a shot in the future. That's gonna be drawing my to-do list, building a to-do list plugin inside Unreal or Blender, and then using speedrun clocks instead of time blocking. Currently, I'm also running an experiment where every morning I'm speaking my to-do list and sort of brain dumping it into a voice memo while I'm on my phone, while I'm on my e-skateboard. And I just do that while I'm on the way to work. And I'm also being very careful, and I'm stopping quite a bit to check for cars and stuff like that. Mom, you don't gotta worry about me, everything's fine. I imagine I have a lot more systems that I'll use in the future, and I'm definitely gonna keep exploring them all. I'm not gonna feel limited by what I've done in the past and what failed and what didn't work. I'm just gonna keep trying to find new ways to show up for my life. And I hope you do too. And I hope you stay kind. And I hope you keep making stuff.